Just a short drive from Milwaukee, it's your home run giveaway. Book your stay today at lakelongresort.com and come find out for yourself why everything is better at the lake.
Planning a high-level event shouldn't feel overwhelming. I'm Tiara Gomez, founder of Events by Design. For over 25 years, we've helped companies turn complex, high-pressure events into seamless, unforgettable experiences. When trying to engage your team and pull off something meaningful, the details matter. From concept to execution, we design every event so it reflects your vision and delivers real impact. No missed moments, just refined experiences people will remember. Let's start designing today. Search online, Events by Design.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow, and in for John McCure, it's Telly Hughes.
Thank you for being with us. We are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 o'clock tonight. So we are keeping you safe whenever or wherever you're listening. Just know we're live on YouTube as well. You can watch the show, see what's happening on the studio, and comment along with us. Just search 620 WTMJ on YouTube and subscribe today. All right, let's get to it. We have Summerfest happening. We have the traffic from the Brewers. Let's get to Debbie Loziga. Hi, Deb.
Yeah, everything is going to be tight right around the stadium as the game is letting out, so just heads up with that. We do have delays westbound 94 from about 27th Street all the way to Holly Road, back on the brakes just west of the zoo interchange, all the way to Calhoun, and some more delays west of Highway 16, all the way to about Elmhurst Road, so give yourself tons of time there. On the eastbound side, backing up from 76th Street through to 35th. Southbound 43, a hefty ride from Keefe down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. Northbound is slowing down just north of Howard Avenue all the way up to about Locust, so it's a tough ride there. Southbound of the bypass also seeing some backups from about Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale interchange to 60th. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Okay, because we have that severe weather for extreme heat for all of southeast Wisconsin until 10 o'clock tonight, and that severe thunderstorm watch until 10 o'clock tonight, we have WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen with us. Craig, I see a lot of developments going on in Lafayette and Iowa County right now.
Yep, that's the cluster of storms that's going to come through here later on this evening and has led the Storm Prediction Center to issue the severe thunderstorm watch until 10 o'clock. Timing-wise, Julia and Telly, I think we're okay for maybe another 2 hours or at least an hour and a half. I would expect the storms to start moving into the western part of the viewing area or listening area after 6 o'clock, around or after 6 o'clock, maybe making it to the Milwaukee area around or after 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, Craig, I know that at first there was a heat advisory warning that was extended to 10 o'clock. And when you have that much heat and humidity that is present, is that the reason why these pop-up storms that weren't even there at first starts to develop?
Yeah, that's among the reasons. That's right. Yeah, the conditions were really right out in northeastern Iowa and southern Minnesota for storms to develop. And so they have, and they're taking a track now right across southern Wisconsin. They're going to be moving at not a terribly fast rate. So that brings up one of the bigger concerns for tonight, even outside of the severe thunderstorm watch, and that is heavy rain. The storms are going to be tapping into this really moist, humid air that's been around for the last several days. And so they're going to be big rain producers. So in addition to the potential for large hail and the potential for strong winds, there's also going to be the potential for some flooding with these storms as they come through tonight, because not only are they going to have so much moisture in them, they're not going to be moving that quickly.
And does that make your job pretty tricky because these just pop up out of nowhere? They not even on the radar at first, and then all of a sudden it's excessive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. You know, if what had happened in Iowa and Minnesota a couple hours ago were to have happened here this afternoon, that's right. It's out there this afternoon knowing exactly when and exactly where the storms were going to blossom. We're fortunate here today that we're getting this advance notice. So we got a couple of hours to prepare as the storms come in. As we get into tomorrow, Telly, and Saturday, we're going to be closer to that initiation area around here. So yeah, it's going to get more tricky for us tomorrow and Saturday because the storms will be developing very close or perhaps right over the Milwaukee area, and we won't get as much advance warning.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I was thinking about the fireworks, the parades that are happening for July 3rd and July 4th. Do you have the timing on that, Craig?
Yeah, the timing is going to be sort of touch and go all weekend long. These storms this evening are going to come through and affect us during the evening hours. We may have another round of storms late tonight into tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow afternoon or evening may be the next batch after that. Beyond that, it's really a tough call. This is a situation where we're probably only going to have about 12 hours or so in advance of any particular cluster of storms to give you the heads up that this is what we're thinking. So yeah, the whole weekend is going to be touch and go. There are going to be plenty of dry hours, I can tell you that. But when the storms come through, they're going to be pretty notable, and they're going to be pretty heavy in just about all cases.
WTMJ meteorologist Craig Coplain. Craig, thank you for always keeping us safe.
Sure, my pleasure.
423 on WTMJ. Each month, we have the Milwaukee Police with us. And I spoke to two members of the staff today ahead of that busy 4th of July weekend. We have Sergeant Jamar Lucky with us and Heather Hoff, Chief of Staff with the Milwaukee Police. Thank you both for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, I think about the July 4th fireworks, and, it wasn't on Bradford Beach for a couple of years, right? And now it's back. And there's a drone show, too, off the McKinley Marina. But I think about safety. Mm-hmm. So how are you making sure that people are staying safe?
Well, obviously, we want everyone to enjoy themselves, have fun with their family and friends. But we just want everybody to do so safely. And we do have a city ordinance in the city of Milwaukee that prohibits the purchase and use of fireworks.
Oh, I hear it all night. I live right by Estabrook Park, so it's just booming everywhere because I get the echoes for the next 2 weeks probably. When do you guys decide to respond to those? Because there's just so many going off. This is everywhere, too, every city.
Sure. So we get the information through dispatch, people calling the non-emergency line. If there are fireworks in their neighborhood, we ask that they call the non-emergency line. And as time and resources allow, we do get to those calls. And so what drives our response is the ability of officers to go through their priority calls and get to those. Now, that's not to say, even if we don't respond timely, we don't do investigations after the fact. So if somebody is stockpiling a bunch of personal fireworks, our investigations units do investigate those, and they can, after the fact, issue charges or fines for egregious offenses for personal use fireworks.
And Sergeant Lucky, we want to make sure that people have a good time, right? What is it like to on the 4th of July to patrol at, those types of holidays? And how important is it? I mean, this is the one time where we actually get to interact with the community, sometimes in a fun way.
Yeah, it's fun. Seeing a lot of family members and just the community together having fun. The days that I was on patrol, I enjoyed working those days. We hear a lot of fireworks and stuff like that, but as you know, we just want to emphasize just personal use. It's prohibited, and just there will be sanctioned offense at different locations, at different parks like Owlcat Park, Gordon Park, Humboldt Park, Jackson, Lake, Lincoln, Washington Park, and Wilson Park. The beach also.
Does this affect ShotSpotter, for example? Because when I hear that type of those things as a reporter, I hear a boom, like even when I was a reporter in Kalamazoo, and I'm like, and even veterans of war, some of them get caught off guard, or sometimes there's animals during the fireworks and they just take off, and you think about Matic that's affected. So the fact that there might be some random booms, I mean, isn't that affecting so many things?
Well, my time on patrol, I will say we didn't really have many issues with the ShotSpotter technology. It's pretty much accurate. for like the most part. I don't know the exact percentage, but we didn't have like our shot spotter going off on fireworks.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's really
You would
good
think
to
it
know.
would be ringing off like
I would
100
think
per
so.
hour, but I mean, from my experience, I didn't have those issues.
That's
we didn't have
good.
those issues.
What are we thinking about with the heat? Are we worried about that? I mean, I know that sometimes you guys
Yeah.
respond to everything.
The heat is an absolute concern, but it's a citywide coordinated effort. So we work with the fire department, with the health department, DPW, and others to get resources out there to their community and also for response. So we have been working together all week. Our patrol bureau with especially the fire department on rapid response, emergency response for those issues. So we're prepared to deal with them as they come.
And what does 4th of July mean to you?
So I love the celebration. I love the summer. I love this country. I am a Navy veteran, so it's very meaningful to me for my service to the country, and and I love this community. So for all of those reasons, it is one of my favorite. And I do love the fireworks, the legal fireworks that are provided to the community.
Have you seen the drone show, any drone show before, Sergeant
I have
Lucky?
never.
Me too.
I have never seen.
And they can move into different things. Are you going?
I don't know. I don't know just
You
yet.
can just get in a patrol car and just
He
enjoy
might be
it.
working.
I might be working there, so,
Milwaukee Police Sergeant Jamar Lucky and Heather Huff, Chief of Staff with the Milwaukee Police, thank you so much for joining us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. And happy 4th of July. I really appreciate you keeping us safe through such an important holiday. Thank you.
Thank you.
A very nice interview. Time for news about your money, your WTMJ NX Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up more than 1% on the day, ending at 52,900. NASDAQ down nearly 1% on the day, ending at 25,832. S&P 500 was flat on the day, ending at about 7,400. Tomorrow, the markets will be closed for the 4th of July holiday. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference. WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for the City of Hope Cancer Center in Zion. Cancer treatments are saving more lives than ever before, but doctors say surviving is only part of the journey. Ahead of World Blood Cancer Day, May 28th, cardio-oncologist Dr. Jason Robin with City of Hope is highlighting a growing concern for survivors of leukemia, lymphoma, and other blood cancers, heart disease.
And just the treatments in general that we give, the conditioning before a transplant, the high-dose chemotherapy, the radiation, those are things that are well known to increase your risk of heart disease down the road.
As with any life-saving treatment, cancer therapies can have side effects. That is why Dr. Robin and other experts at City of Hope proactively manage them, not only treating cancer, but also closely following survivors.
For example, patients who get stem cell transplant have about a 4 times higher risk for developing heart disease later on in life.
And they do this with a team-based approach that brings cardiologists, cancer specialists, and other experts together to care for patients before, during, and after treatment.
Because the key here is that the earlier that cardiac dysfunction is recognized, the better the chance we have at putting people on the appropriate medical therapy and potentially reversing or at least halting the cardiac dysfunction.
And for newly diagnosed patients, Dr. Robbins says second opinions and fast access to care can make a huge difference. City of Hope can often pair patients with specialists within just a few days.
That's how City of Hope operates. They really operate the way that medicine used to be. They continue to do this, and it amazes me. If I have a loved one that was sick, that would be the place where I would send my relatives.
With the right long-term care, survivors can live full, happy lives. City of Hope Cancer Center, just south of the state line in Zion, is part of a national system advancing cutting-edge treatment and research. Visit cityofhope.org. That's cityofhope.org.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this half hour, a man charged in an attempted kidnapping.
I'm Telly Hughes. Talks in Iran put on hold for a funeral.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Westbound on 94, backing up from before 35th Street pretty solidly all the way to Hawley Road, back on the brakes from the zoo all the way to Calhoun. On the eastbound side, we got backups from 76th Street through the Stadium interchange to about 35th. Southbound 41, heavy from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. The northbound side slowing down from Watertown Plank Road up to Hampton. We've got more delays on the southbound bypass from just south of National Avenue down and around the Hale interchange all the way to about 51st. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
A severe thunderstorm watch just issued until 10 o'clock tonight for all of southeastern Wisconsin, and we have an extreme heat warning. It continues for all of southeast Wisconsin except for Sheboygan and Fond du Lac counties until 10 o'clock tonight. Scattered showers and storms, some strong again. Be weather aware, a low of 73. Tomorrow, storms in the afternoon and evening, a high of 88 degrees. Heat index will make it feel like it is 95 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a man from Rosendale faces attempted kidnapping charges. He's been identified.
21-year-old Miles Jeffrey Jaeger allegedly tried to kidnap a 27-year-old woman pushing her 1-year-old child in a stroller along the Mascoutin Trail Monday. The woman told police Jaeger grabbed her from behind by the neck and tried to force a white cloth over her mouth before she screamed and he ran off. Jaeger was arrested in his home that night, and police found several feet of rope in the front seat of his car. He's also charged with felony false imprisonment and misdemeanor battery and property damage. If convicted on the kidnapping count alone, he could face up to 20 years in prison. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
A man from Fond du Lac is charged with threatening to kill Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers in a series of voicemails.
Bradley Hartman is accused of leaving 2 voicemails laden with profanities and homophobic slurs and multiple threats to kill a, quote, high-ranking Wisconsin executive official and their family. While Evers isn't named as the victim in the complaint, court documents indicate Hartman is prohibited from having any contact with the governor as a condition of his $15,000 cash bond. Hartman posted that bond early Thursday morning and is due back in court July 23rd. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Talks between the U.S. and Iran will be put on hold, not because of disagreements, but because of a funeral. Here's News Nation's Robert Sherman.
We are anticipating that no talks will be planned for the next few days as Iran prepares to hold funeral services for their former supreme leader. Those begin this weekend, with the Qataris saying that the plan and hope is to get new negotiations on the calendar shortly after those funeral processions wrap up next week.
Iran's supreme leader was killed by the U.S. and Israeli strikes in their first attack of the war.
Trapped in the rubble of a building for more than a week, rescuers pulled a man to safety in Venezuela early today. People from around the world cheered as the 43-year-old man was pulled to safety. ABC's Lama Hassan.
This is an extraordinary story of survival as well as a dramatic rescue. After 8 days of those back-to-back earthquakes in Venezuela, a 43-year-old security guard buried beneath the rubble in the hard-hit city of La Guaira. A pocket of air in his workstation cabin kept him alive. A specialized team from the Costa Rican Red Cross established contact with him on Sunday after they detected signs of life. And according to the AP, he asked them not to tell his wife he was alive in case he didn't make it.
Venezuelan authorities said Wednesday at least 2,295 people were killed in the earthquakes.
A group of Mount Pleasant homeowners have filed a class action lawsuit against Microsoft's Fairwater data center, claiming excessive noise from the facility is disrupted their daily lives.
The lawsuit alleges the hum from cooling systems and backup generators has interfered with sleep, outdoor activities, and property values for residents living near the campus. The suit represents about 1,000 nearby properties. The data center recently became fully operational and is part of Microsoft's nearly $5 billion investment in southeast Wisconsin. A second facility is already under construction on the company's campus in Racine County. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers lost 7-2 against the Reds this afternoon, but took 3 out of 4 in the series. The Brewers will now hit the road and go to Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks tomorrow night at 8:45. A big win for the U.S. in the knockout round of the World Cup.
Tillman!
That's how it sounded on Fox as Malik Tillman scored on a penalty kick, giving the U.S. a 2-0 win over Bosnia. They'll now face Belgium on Monday night in Seattle in the round of 16.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:36. This report is sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategies. Your life, your goals. Visit dwstrategies.com.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit dwstrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Mosaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. You know, it's been more than 3 years since we got our garage door from J.D. Griffiths, and it still looks brand new. I'm telling you, it's quiet, it's smooth, and honestly, I didn't realize how much of a difference a quality door would make until we upgraded. J.D. Griffiths, they've been doing it for decades. They're local, trusted, and they handle everything. Try the website, jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ. Schedule your free consultation from J.D. Griffiths.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. John and I, on July 23rd, we're going to be at the EAA AirVenture, Wisconsin's afternoon news on the road in Oshkosh. It's going to be the world's busiest airport, July 23rd. What is it, Dick Napisky? Is it July 23rd or 26th, or is that just the Goodyear blimp?
That's just the Goodyear blimp. 20th through the 26th is the show, but the Goodyear blimp is coming back once again. They were here last year, but they liked it so much they're coming back, and they'll be here from the 23rd through the 26th, floating over the Oshkosh grounds, parked right behind the museum. And it's always nice coming to the office and looking outside and seeing a blimp in the backyard.
Dick, I'm sorry I didn't get this assignment. I would love to come up there, but hey.
Oh, Telly, seriously, it's the most fun. And you get to walk around, and there's United Airlines, there's all different agencies, and they talk about all the different types of jobs that you can have. You meet with different pilots, and you can walk on the tarmac and see all of these older planes and people that fly in from all over. Famous people you'll catch.
Oh.
Harrison Ford's been there.
Yeah.
Dick's escorted a lot of famous people.
Oh, yeah. See, I really need to get up there.
Was Tom Cruise there?
Tom Cruise, he's never announced that he was there, but we've had John Travolta here. Morgan Freeman has been here during the time because he's held a pilot certificate, and a whole bunch of astronauts and fighter pilots and so forth. And speaking of fighter pilots, yeah, we've got one coming in. It's his week off. So what's he doing? He's coming to an airplane show from the Air Force Thunderbirds, the number 8 jet of Samuel Larson. His call sign is Raz. And he's flown the F-22 here before, but he'll be coming back all week. He's bringing the number 8 Thunderbirds F-16. It'll be on display on the ramp. So, again, you can walk up, talk to Raz, look at his jet. Great photo opportunity, be in front of the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds jet like that. But he'll be there throughout the week as well.
I flew with the Thunderbirds.
Wow.
Yeah. I was so lucky. I had to do get a doctor's note to say that I was healthy enough, and they put me in the whole entire outfit. Had me have to learn how to do the breaths so then you don't pass out when you're going through 9 Gs. I got to 6, and they're like, you want to do more? I said, no. But as soon as they took off, it was a vertical takeoff, and then he takes me upside down.
Yeah.
And he says, welcome to my office.
I'll pass on that. Dick, talk a little bit about the Innovations Day on July 21st.
Yeah, that's the Tuesday of AirVenture week, and there are a lot of great pieces of technology coming out, the electric-powered aircraft, the urban air mobility with the vertical takeoff and landing airplanes. A lot of them will be flying that day. A lot of them more will be on display on Boeing Plaza as well. You can see what's on the horizon for aviation, what's next. And including in agriculture, we'll see some of the drones doing a demonstration on what ag drones are doing these days as far as taking care of fields, taking care of crops, and so forth. And that's all on July 21st.
That's Innovations Day. And the Seaplane Base on Lake Winnebago, a hidden gem for visitors.
It is. It's about 5 miles away, and catch the shuttle. We get about 100 seaplanes landing on the lake. They go into a lagoon. That's a little bay there, park there. It's a whole different ecosystem right there. So people can come out, see airplanes take off and land on the lake, and then taxi into that lagoon. And it's included with admission, a couple bucks for the shuttle to take you right out there. But it's a great way to see a whole different segment of aviation that's represented here at AirVenture later on this month.
And Dick, this is all price friendly for kids 18 and under.
It is. We'd like to make it a family-friendly event. 18 and under are free thanks to the Boeing Company. And by the way, if you've never been to our museum, that's included with your admission too during the week when you're here. Stop on by, see the great airplanes on display right in our museum, which is open year-round too.
Okay, how do we get tickets?
Tickets, EAA.org/tickets is the place to go. You know, you're only about 2.5 weeks away, and so I encourage you, get the tickets early, get your parking passes early so you can get right in and get out to the flight line, enjoy everything we talked about, and looking forward to seeing you all. Telly, sneak in the van. Come on up here.
I think I will.
You can come my Subaru.
There's some equipment I could carry or something to get in, right?
It's really fun. I mean, in the background, you hear the screaming of all of the different planes flying by and the air shows. It's just the incredible, absolutely incredible. Dick Napinski, go to EAA.org. Take your family. Dick, thank you so much. Talk to you next week.
Always a pleasure. Thank you much.
442 on WTMJ. Debbie helps get you home. We also have some severe thunderstorms, and we have some severe weather to our west, including in Dane County. You know what that means. It starts rolling in here.
Yeah.
WTMJ meteorologist Craig Coplini was just on with us, and he was talking about how he is looking at that severe weather that is coming our way into southeast Wisconsin. We're keeping you safe. He also talked about the 4th of July, that it could be a mixed bag of what might happen with the parade and the drone shows that we have and the fireworks. So hopefully we cross our fingers on everything. We also have Lindsay Slater, TMJ4 meteorologist, joining us at 5:35. So she'll be keeping us safe as well. It's 4:43 on WTMJ. We're going to talk to the FBI Special Agent in Charge, Alan Carr. That is next.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Griffin Ford in Waukesha. Hey, if you've been thinking about a new vehicle, now's the time to take a serious look at Griffin Ford's Ford American Value for American Values employee pricing event. This is great. For a limited time, you pay what employees pay. That's right, employee pricing on a huge selection of new Ford vehicles. Right now, they have 50-plus all-wheel drive Ford Explorers in stock starting at $38,978. How about the 2026 Ford Bronco Sport all-wheel drive? More than 20 in stock starting at $28,995. And Escape owners get an additional $1,000 off. But what really sets Griffin Ford apart is inventory. Griffin Ford is one of the largest selections of new Ford vehicles anywhere in Wisconsin. That means you're not spending hours searching dealer to dealer or settling for something close to what you wanted. You can choose the color, trim, level, and features that fit your style. It's Griffin Ford in Waukesha. I buy my cars at Griffin. You can also do it online at griffinford.com.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Point taken with Scafidi and Bride.
Patriotism and pride is fleeting. It's not an everyday thing anymore.
I actually think patriotism comes a lot more from the relationships and culture to your neighbors, your friends, your family, than a reflection of the government.
Weekdays from 10 to noon on WTMJ. And check out the weekly newsletter, Extra Points, by texting EXTRA to the talk and text line.
I'm streaming your show while taking a walk. Would you consider that a useful screen time?
Yes!
Traffic is sponsored by Mission 94 Firearms Education Center, centered in safety, anchored in history, designed for discovery. Just Google Mission 94.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. Learn the right way to handle firearms. Just Google Mission 94.
446, traffic and then weather. We got Summerfest. We have the Brewers game ending. Debbie Lazaga, how are the roads?
Still a bit tight right around the stadium. Westbound 94 is backing up from about 35th Street all the way to Hawley Road. More delays from the Zoo interchange all the way to Calhoun, and again from Barker Road to 164. The eastbound side slowing down just about at 76th Street all the way to 35th. Now southbound 43, a hefty ride there from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. The northbound side's backing up from Howard Avenue all the way up through the Marquette up to about Locust. We also have a little bit of a backup on 794 northbound, basically between Howard Avenue and Oklahoma Avenue. It's got a pocket of really heavy traffic right in that area. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Is that your dog, Deb?
Yes.
Is your husband home?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
He should not be barking if my husband is home. But well, okay. There it is.
All right, Deb, thank you. We'll talk to you in about 15 minutes. Here is the latest storm team forecast. We have an extreme heat warning for all of southeast Wisconsin until 10 o'clock tonight. A severe thunderstorm watch issued until 10 o'clock tonight. Meteorologist Craig Copleen is on standby for us if anything gets more severe. Tonight, a chance of storms, mostly cloudy, a low of 73. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with evening showers and storms likely. Hot and humid. Heat index of 95. Saturday, showers and storms are possible for your 4th of July. A high of 81, turning cooler late. Sunday, a slight chance of rain, partly cloudy, a high of 81. Monday, mostly sunny, getting more comfortable, a high of 77. I really look forward to when the special agent in charge for the FBI Milwaukee office comes in. He is Alan Carr, special agent in charge, our SAC Carr. Thank you so much. I know whether to do the acronym or to say the whole thing. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so a lot of the Milwaukee alders and Voces de la Frontera are alerting us and the public that there is an increased ICE activity in the state of Wisconsin. So I just want to know, when does the FBI Milwaukee office or any of your activations throughout the entire state, since you're in charge of the entire state of Wisconsin, when does the FBI assist in ICE activity?
Sure. So ICE activity is led by DHS, which is the Department of Homeland Security. We work for the Department of Justice, and we're all federal law enforcement officers. So if there's something they need help on, or any way that we can collaborate, particularly with instances where we have someone of particularly a violent offender or someone that would be very targeted, we would assist with ICE on that. And we've had some success recently. For example, up north, we arrested someone who was wanted out of Mexico for a fugitive warrant for homicide. So we were able to work together with ICE on that particular arrest. So again, these very targeted enforcement actions as necessary, but regular daily enforcement, that's more so ICE, and I direct anybody with any questions to talk to ICE or DHS.
Alan, I can't even imagine all the cases and stories that you possess, but let's talk about Operation Summer Heat 2.0. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so Summer Heat is an effort by the FBI to include all of our 56 field offices, and us here in Milwaukee, we're doing it too. And this is a target enforcement for the summer, where we work with our state and local partners to try to combat violent crime. You know, last year we had great success doing this. We had over 135 arrests, over 62 drug seizures just for those 3 months. And again, we know that oftentimes crime spikes in the summer just because people are out and about. and we want to help target that. We've seen great reductions in crime, and we just came off of, we're in summer heat now, but in the spring we had spring cleanup, and we were spring cleaning, Operation Spring Cleaning, and we had over 41 arrests just in that operation, targeted enforcement from March through May. So again, we were trying to target criminal activity leading into the summer months, and now in the summer months we're trying to continue to target that violent crime activity.
And another thing that's been ongoing, the Wild 100s and the arrests of all of that, the final 2 individuals were just sentenced to life in prison. For people who don't know the Wild 100s, can you describe how comprehensive and complex that was?
Yeah, that was a gang that was operating here in the Milwaukee area, and as you just mentioned, we had 2 individuals, Lawrence Turner and Ronell Bowman. They were sentenced to life in prison for a homicide in which they paid someone to kill someone else, gang-related activity. But this is an interesting case because it just didn't have a violent crime aspect and traditional gang aspect, but also had this white-collar aspect. And we saw that 28 co-conspirators, to include the 2 that I just mentioned, were indicted, pled guilty to stealing COVID relief funds. And so they were stealing these COVID relief funds from the government, fraudulently obtaining this money, and they were utilizing it to not only fund lavish lifestyles, but also to further gang activity, purchasing firearms. Some of that money went to this homicide, went to pay for the homicide. So it's an interesting case. I have no doubt that our streets are safer because of these indictments and because of this work that the FBI did, not only alone, but in partnership with our law enforcement partners at the state and local level. Just great work by everybody involved to get some very dangerous people off the street.
Yeah, and taxpayer dollars that were stolen.
Yeah, I mean, over $10 million in COVID relief money was stolen by these folks to fund their activity, and so just a hard-hitting case and a great work across the board.
This gang activity with the Wild 100s, I'm just curious, were they based at first out of Chicago? Because I used to hear about Wild 100 gangs and the 100s in the streets of Chicago. Is that?
Yeah, this particular gang was operating here in the Milwaukee area, but we certainly do see bleed over from Chicago, where we do see bleed over from Chicago coming up here, and we are constantly working with field offices across the country, to include our Chicago field office, trying to tie any connection together. And that's the great thing about the FBI and federal law enforcement, is we're looking for that crime that crosses state lines, because as we know, criminals, they don't respect boundaries. They're like, well, hey, I'm here in Chicago and this is where it's going to stay. No, they're going to go wherever it's going to make sense for them to go to make money or to continue their activity. And that's why we're always working together.
Yeah, and something that has been sweeping the nation and now is having an impact here in Milwaukee is healthcare fraud. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so healthcare fraud is something that we're very focused on as one of the lead agencies for combating healthcare fraud. This is a big deal, not only here in Wisconsin, but across the country. Recently, the Department of Justice announced a concerted effort to combat healthcare fraud, which led to charges against 455 defendants across the country. One here in Wisconsin that I'll highlight for you was a woman by the name of Jasmine Cooper out of Brown Deer. She was charged with the healthcare fraud. She stole over $5.4 million in Medicaid funds.
How do you maybe a couple $1,000s? Sheesh.
How long of a period?
So this was a multi-year scheme. She operated from 2019 to 2022, and this money was supposed to go to prenatal care, to take care of children, at-risk children, women with at-risk pregnancy. So some of the most vulnerable in our society. And, we are working every day to combat healthcare fraud. And I would encourage anybody with any information on healthcare fraud to reach out to us, at tips.fbi.gov or 1-800-CALL-FBI, because this is
not okay.
Not okay, right? And you see it here in this case, in which money's supposed to go to help vulnerable people, and instead somebody's using it to fund their own lavish lifestyle.
Tips.fbi.gov. Okay, I also want to highlight cybersecurity concerns.
Yeah,
it's a big thing. Operation Riptide, concerns that are being addressed by the FBI. That's scary, and it's unknown, it's new. So, and there's cells overseas, and you don't know where they're coming from. So, yeah, tell us about Operation Riptide.
Yeah, Operation Riptide is it's a joint effort between our criminal work and our cyber work. And we know that we have seen an increase in individuals utilizing cyber techniques to steal money from people here in America, right? So last year, for example, we received reports that over $20 billion was lost to cyber-enabled fraud schemes. We've seen a 26% increase in cyber-enabled fraud schemes since last year, and that's why we've got Operation Riptide going. We want to increase this work with both domestically and our international partners to try to combat those people that are utilizing cyber infrastructure to steal money from Americans. And so this is a whole of law enforcement approach, collaborative approach, both domestically and internationally, as I said. And what we really encourage people to do is if they are the victim of fraud, and being the victim of a fraud can often be embarrassing. And we want people,
I tried. Okay, so this one guy, it was in Wisconsin, and I won't say where, but he said that his oh gosh, it was so bad. It was more than $100,000, and he was trying to save his grandchild that he thought was stuck in Mexico and needed help to get back home. And I went to his house, and he said, "I'm too embarrassed."
Yeah.
He said, "No." I said, so it's so humiliating when you realize that you've been duped when you're trying to do something to save your own family member.
Right.
You think.
Right. You think, and people are, these schemes are so sophisticated. And so what we encourage people to do is talk to folks, let people know that, hey, I've been a victim of this scheme, and also report it to us at ic3.gov. That's our Internet Crime Complaint Center. And understanding the methods and the means that these people are utilizing to defraud people in the United States, that's so important for us to put the pieces together and attack these cyber-enabled criminals.
And Alan, can you brief us on some of the human and drug trafficking sentencings with local impact?
Yeah, absolutely. So one case I'll highlight for you is an individual that was sentenced last week to 20 years in federal prison, Damian Gambrell. This individual was involved in human trafficking, in which he would human traffic women across state lines. And not only that, this person also directed a fentanyl distribution ring up in Green Bay. So, again, two things that are really bad in our communities, human trafficking and fentanyl distribution, that we're working every day to combat. And this is oftentimes we can't talk about the investigations as they're going on.
Right.
But these are the examples of the cases that we're working every day to try to make our community safer. And, thanks for allowing us to highlight it, because this is the type of work that we're trying to do every day to make our community safer and combat human trafficking and drug trafficking every day.
Wow.
FBI Milwaukee office special agent in charge. He's the head of all the FBI here in the state of Wisconsin, and we really appreciate your time. You're so generous with us. Alan Carr, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate your time.
4:59 on WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
The new fractured boulders we now have in stock are really nice. They're squarer and more rectangular in shape, and they're great for building dry-laid retaining walls. They're much easier to deal with, lock together nicely, and you get less gaps. No wet mortar needed. And we've stocked a multitude of colors. You can use them as an accent item to add character to your dry river or creek beds, too. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Our organic mulch is comprised of all trees. Most mulch is made from ground-up pallets, and you don't know what might have been spilled on those pallets. Could be chemicals or who knows what. But not our mulch, we're recycling trees. Many species of hardwoods. Cedar, hemlock, light brown, dark brown, mocha, black, red, gold, and caramel. 7 colors to choose from means a mulch to match any exterior. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Dave Spano, CEO of Annex Wealth Management, a fee-only fiduciary. fee-only fiduciary really further separates the folks that either say fiduciary some of the time or best interests altogether. And it's not just that alone. It is, of course, everything else that we can bring to the table that this just isn't asset management. It is estate planning, tax planning, financial planning, all of it wrapped together in one transparent fee.
Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management? Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's afternoon news for Thursday, July 2nd. Your top story: the sentencing of a former Milwaukee County judge is on the horizon.
I'm Tully Hughes, in for John McCure. A former Olympian indicted for vandalizing the reflecting pool.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 41, backing up from Appleton Avenue all the way to Hampton. Northbound, very heavy from Watertown Plank Road all the way to Silver Spring. Southbound 43 also hitting the brakes from just before Locust down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. Northbound's backed up from Howard Avenue all the way up to about Locust. We've also got delays westbound 894 out of the Mitchell interchange past Loomis to about 51st, and then on the bypass heading southbound from Greenfield Avenue down and around the Hale interchange past 76th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here is your WTMJ Storm Team forecast. We have an extreme heat warning for all of southeast Wisconsin until 10 o'clock tonight, and a severe thunderstorm watch issued until 10 o'clock tonight. Please be weather aware. A low of 73. Tomorrow, storms possible in the afternoon and evening, a high of 88 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, differing recommendations for the sentencing of former Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan.
A jury found Dugan guilty of helping an undocumented immigrant avoid federal immigration agents at the Milwaukee County Courthouse in April 2025. Her lawyers say the incident was a one-time offense carried out by a respected public servant and are asking for time served. Federal prosecutors argue that she abused her judicial authority and she should serve 15 to 21 months in prison. Dugan will be sentenced next Wednesday, July 8th. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Parents face felony charges after their toddler drowned in a bathtub. 27-year-old Rebecca Ambrose and 26-year-old Jason Christensen of Janesville are charged with multiple counts of child neglect. Rock County Sheriff's deputies responded to a call that the 1-year-old was not breathing on June 13th. The child later died at the hospital. Court documents show Ambrose initially told deputies that the child had slipped underwater in the bathtub and had a history of seizures. Investigators found she was on her phone using social media, later returning to find the child floating in the bathtub that was overflowing.
A D.C. area man who was once an Olympic canoeing athlete, had been indicted in a Superior Court grand jury. And the Trump administration alleges that he damaged the reflecting pool at the Lincoln Memorial. ABC News' Stephen Portnoy.
The single count, destruction of property worth more than $1,000, carries up to 10 years in prison. Olympic canoeist David Hearn insists he did not rip the lining of the reflecting pool, but merely touched the end of a loose piece of it. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro.
National Park Service employees observed Hearn actually forcefully and violently pulling up and removing the bottom liner with both hands.
Hearn's attorney calls the charges outrageous and says they should be alarming to every American. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
A couple is out of supervised release after being arrested for climbing to the top of the Empire State Building on Wednesday. News Nation's Jessica Catalia.
The climbers were skywalkers, Angela Nicolau and Ivan Birkis. They've been doing this for 10 years. They have more than 1 million followers. They even had a documentary on Netflix. When they reached the top, they unveiled a banner reading, "When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world knows peace." The daredevil duo climbed to the very top, then back to a platform at the base of the spire where it looked like he got down on one knee and proposed. The two of them then kissed.
The male suspect said he wanted to do something special for his engagement.
Milwaukee leaders are now taking a closer look at electric scooter safety following a serious crash on a downtown sidewalk. The Public Safety and Health Committee is recommending a measure to increase fines for riding scooters on sidewalks from $10 to $200. Here's Alderman Bob Bauman.
One thing that has to stop is the sidewalk riding, because that poses a direct threat to the health, safety, and welfare of pedestrians in neighborhoods where we want to encourage walking and walkability.
The committee plans to continue discussions on creating additional low-speed scooter zones downtown. The Common Council will consider the proposal at its next meeting.
Coming up, the Brewers lose today, but take the series.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:06.
Here's why you can feel confident in choosing Less's Glass to fabricate and install your new shower door or glass bath enclosure. For over 40 years, we've done thousands of them. And when you want a new and modern aesthetic added to your bathroom, you want a crew with experience behind it. We fabricate new shower doors or bath enclosures to fit any space of your bathroom, all done in-house. And that's great for quality control. It could be a neo-angle shower stall, a corner enclosure, a bypass for your tub or shower, or a heavy 3/8-inch all-glass enclosure. Any idea you have, framed or frameless, we can handle it. And when you work with a family-owned company, the buck stops here, because we're not satisfied until you are. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Many of us struggle to lose weight. I use Milwaukee Weight Loss to lose the weight I've wanted to lose for a long time. And the great thing is I've kept it off now for over a year. Lost 45 pounds last year, another almost 10 pounds this year with the goal of losing maybe 10 more. For a limited time, get $200 off of their summer special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. I can do it. You can do it. We can all do it. Let's lose weight together. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
This Independence Day, celebrate America's 250th in a place where summer feels magical. Lake Geneva. Experience Liberty on the Lake, a once-in-a-generation celebration on Saturday, July 4th. Gather along the lake shore for an evening of live music, family fun, and the flavors of summer from local food trucks. Then as twilight settles over the water, the sky awakens with a breathtaking drone show in honor of our nation. Make your 4th unforgettable. Go to visitlakegeneva.com for all the details.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers lost 7-2 against the Reds this afternoon, but took 3 of 4 in the series. They're on the road against the Diamondbacks tomorrow night at 8:45 in Arizona. A big win for the U.S. in the knockout round of the World Cup.
Tillman!
That's how it sounded on Fox as Malik Tillman scored on a penalty kick, giving the U.S. a 2-0 win over Bosnia. They'll now face Belgium on Monday night in Seattle in the round of 16.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:10.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the July Independence Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big on top brands like Bradenton Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradenton Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Fjords brings you modern Scandinavian design recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases, and it's free. Stop in today and save now during the Independence Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture on Capitol Drive in Brookfield, Highway 100 in Greenfield, or our downtown Mattress Factory showroom.
When I shop, no matter what I'm shopping for, I shop for value. WTMJ's John Mercure here, and also quality. You get that at Milwaukee's Otto's Wine and Spirits, serving Milwaukee since 1945, employee-owned. They've got the best price and selection when it comes to wine, when it comes to spirits, when it comes to beer and seltzer. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits. You've driven by the many locations. Stop in and visit one. My store is Menominee Falls, also Elm Grove, Brown Deer, Cedarburg, and Milwaukee. They are the best value. They're Wisconsin strong. It's Otto's.
100 years ago, Bayview Shade and Blind opened its doors with a commitment to craftsmanship and care. Today, that same family spirit lives on in every home we serve. I'm Daniel Pahalski, one of the third-generation owners of Bayview Shade and Blind. We want to say thank you to the families and businesses who've supported us for 100 years.
Sharing a little sunshine for 100 years. Bayview Shade and Blind.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow, and in for John McCure, it's Telly Hughes.
So glad you are with us. We are keeping an eye on the weather. We have an extreme heat warning for all of southeast Wisconsin, and that severe thunderstorm watch just issued until 10 o'clock tonight. But first,
this is the 5 o'clock focus on Wisconsin's afternoon news.
what we want to talk about is what just happened to a news crew. CBS 2 Chicago. Racial hatred may have been the motivation with a photographer and reporter. They were at the Adler Planetarium. Okay, I worked behind the scenes there. That is the primo location at the Adler Planetarium that's the safest to be able to have the beautiful Chicago skyline and the beautiful Lake Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very common. And racial hatred may have been the motivation. Here's CBS 2 reporter Jermont Terry to explain that at first the people went up to them. It was a tow truck driver, and he got his dog out and tried to have the dog, he said, attack, and the dog wouldn't do it. So here is the report from CBS 2 reporter Jermont Terry.
He walked up and literally was commanding the dog. It came out of nowhere.
These two witnesses visiting Chicago watched as a white tow truck parked directly in front of the CBS News van. At first, a man and a dog got out.
It started racial with the cameraman because he was an African-American male.
The CBS employees and the witnesses say the white or Hispanic men then moved aggressively toward the cameraman, and racial slurs never stopped.
Random hate.
That's how you describe it?
Absolutely.
And when the CBS employee defended himself from the dog, witnesses say that's when the other two men in the tow truck jumped out.
And they were saying, leave the dog alone. And I just feel like, the only thing they thought to do was to just cause as much damage as they could and leave.
They knocked over the CBS News camera, damaging it, then went for the news van.
And they grabbed a cone and just started smashing the van window.
After breaking the windshield, the tow truck took off.
The windshield was smashed. They were dusting off and trying to get fingerprints off of the camera that was destroyed. These news cameras, they're just under $100,000, okay?
Yeah.
Very expensive. About 20 minutes later, and a few miles away, the suspects in the same description were brandishing a handgun at people. What a maniac. Police found the tow truck and 3 people, took off when the truck struck a squad car, and all 3 were found arrested facing charges. Now, this is especially scary to me because when I was in one of those live trucks, it looked like a satellite truck.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's 4 sides. 3 out of the 4 sides you're covered. So anyone could just walk up to your live truck and do whatever. And that has happened before. I have a friend who was in Cleveland, a bigger market. And a person came up, brandished a weapon, and she actually testified at the when he was sentenced.
Wow.
And she said, all I thought of were my 2 daughters, and all he got was her iPhone.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it, but thank goodness it doesn't happen more often, because when you are a reporter and a photographer out in the field, there's no security, and you're not, as a photographer isn't carrying a weapon or anything. So you're very vulnerable, and especially when you're trying to work, you're trying to get everything in place and not focus so much about your surroundings. And anyone can come up. And I know throughout my 20-year career, there's been some instances where I didn't feel so comfortable in, and you never know what is going to happen. And there are times where you do need to have your head on a swivel while trying to focus on the job at hand. And so thank goodness no one was seriously hurt. But again, it just goes to show how vulnerable journalists are when they are out in the field.
You never know what's going to happen.
I mean, because you can't pick what story you're going to go cover, and they're all nice neighborhoods or nice areas.
No, we're going to the worst of the worst.
Yes.
Whatever the worst situation that's going on in the city, we're there.
Yeah. And again, without any sort of security whatsoever.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we did.
I've never had security.
Really?
No, never. I mean, once I started to work in the NBA and Major League Baseball, I mean, of course, there's a lot of security around. But when I'm working in Des Moines, Iowa, and I'm going to cover whatever, like, no, there's no security for us.
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly. All right. It is 5:17 on WTMJ.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit dwstrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Mosaic Wealth, Inc. member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in beautiful Menominee Falls. This weekend, I'll be editing together what I just got last week, the Hydro Diamond Glow Facial. They have a brand new machine. It is incredible. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, and wellness services. Talk about your journey and learn more. Book an appointment at sweettalks.com. They have an awesome ambiance, a pink theme. It's non-clinical, a friendly, personable staff, and I have had such a great time. I've used Dysport. I also get the wellness treatments. I'm on a journey with nurse practitioner Angie getting IV injections, and it is absolutely making me feel better and more energized. They do everything for you. They have nurse practitioners there. Head to sweettalks.com. That's sweettalks.com. You deserve it.
There's something special about a summer night at the ballpark. The energy, tradition, and pride we all share. It's also a moment to recognize the men and women who have served our country. Veteran-owned Mission 94 Firearms Education Center was built on those same values. Service, discipline, and commitment to something bigger than yourself. Every experience at Mission 94 is rooted in honoring that mindset. Immersive training and a standard of excellence that reflects those who have worn the uniform. Learn more about a mission that continues long after service. Just Google Mission 94.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. As we prepare to celebrate America's 250th, how about we do a little bit of celebrating Wisconsin as well? We've got you covered. We're combining the two of them on this week's Experience Wisconsin show, which is heard Saturdays at 1 o'clock on WTMJ. Fireworks Nation. Nader Sayedin from Fireworks Nation is with us on this week's show, and Bob Prosser from iconic Ishnala Supper Club, plus our chat with Ann Sayers. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 on WTMJ.
Traffic sponsored by the Fork in the Road Restaurant, Mukwonago. Flavor, friends, family, find it all at the Fork in the Road Restaurant. Enjoy house-made favorites, craft beers, and signature martinis in a one-of-a-kind atmosphere. Fork in the Road, Mukwonago.
Traffic and then weather, Debbie.
Still a hefty ride southbound on 43 from just before North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. Northbound's backed up from Howard all the way up to Locust. We've got a broken down vehicle on 175 southbound right at the ramp from Wisconsin Avenue. It is off on the right shoulder, but kind of in a weird spot. I am seeing northbound delays on 175 as well, since everybody's letting out of the game still, so keep that in mind. Eastbound 94 slowing from 76th Street to about 35th. Westbound coming out of the stadium to Hawley Road, and then from the Zoo interchange, pretty solid all the way past Barker Road to Springdale. More heavy delays from Highway 16 all the way out to Maple Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. An extreme heat warning for all of southeast Wisconsin until 10 o'clock tonight. Also, be weather aware, a severe thunderstorm watch issued until 10 o'clock tonight. We have meteorologist Lindsay Slater with TMJ4 News joining us in about 15 minutes to talk about that. Tonight, it's going to be a low of 73. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with evening showers and storms likely, hot and humid. Heat index of 95. Saturday, showers and storm chances for your 4th of July. High of 81, turning cooler late. Sunday, slight chance of rain, partly cloudy, high of 81. Monday, feeling a little bit more comfortable, mostly sunny and a high of 77 degrees. 521 on WTMJ. We're doing an early edition of Reporter's Notebook with Adam Roberts. It airs every Sunday, and he did a really interesting interview. Sometimes you run into people that, when you're talking to them about a crime, and they're the ones that committed it, or maybe are accused of committing it. And that situation happened to a local reporter, and Adam Roberts spoke to her.
I did. So recall a few weeks ago, Telly and Julia, this was back in mid-June, we were following the trial of a man named Kevin Leischvik in Waukesha County, who was accused and ultimately found guilty of murdering his neighbor Carlos Maldonado at their apartment complex and then hiding the body just near it. So this is around the Frame Park area in the city of Waukesha. So while representing himself, because Leischvik fired the attorney that had been assigned to him and was, much like Darrell Brooks, recall that case, representing himself, and also much like Darrell Brooks, making outbursts during the court case, constantly objecting to the proceedings, trying to get evidence thrown out, etc. Well, at one point, Leischvik made references to, actually multiple times, Rebecca Clough, a reporter at TMJ4, she's their Waukesha County reporter for Channel 4, who had been covering the case since October of 2024. More on that in a moment. But Leischvik, during his court proceedings, made references to Clough, and at one point made a very unusual request, as Clough details here.
During a break, he asked his standby lawyer to come and find me to ask about being interviewed. You can see in this video, Leischvik is holding up my business card, which he was given by his counsel.
So this was day 3 of the jury trial, and you can see, we can't see it here, but in the video, Leischvik is holding up a business card to it's not his attorney, but there's an attorney assigned if you're representing yourself to answer questions you may have about, terms or things you may not understand. If you want some clarification, you're entitled to that if you defend yourself. So he hands this person the business card. They then go and find Rebecca in the hallway during a break and say, hey, he wants to interview you. Ultimately, that interview never happened because he legally can't, as he's involved in his own trial. So that never happened. Now, why was Leischvik making this particular request? Well, Clough, when speaking to me, pointed to her very first interview with him before he was ever even charged with a crime. Now back to October of 2024. Right after Maldonado's body was found, the then 62-year-old Leischvik was in his apartment when Clough was at the complex looking for neighbors who may have seen what happened or had reactions to the news.
I knock on a door in the middle of the hall, and Kevin Leischvik opens the door. 90% naked. If he wasn't naked, he was nearly naked and in a robe. And on top of it, he gave me a look that made the hair on my body stand up, because he gave me a look almost like, hello, I'm excited to see you, in a weird way. And he invited me in, and I said, no, thank you. I actually very much said, no. Later on, the police tell me they find a chair with ropes tied to it. They find a hit list in there. They find lists about how they wanted to eliminate people. Not an apartment you would like to be in if you are a single person.
Not at all. So that, again, is TMJ4 reporter Rebecca Clough speaking with me about her experience on this story. And it's interesting, you both were just talking about the situation with the CBS affiliate in Chicago. It's an unfortunate thing, but when we do what we do, safety always has to be in the back of your mind, whether you're out doing a stand-up or knocking on someone's door and you never know who's going to answer.
You better believe it. Yeah, sometimes people it's very emotionally charged. And yeah, I have one time in Michigan, I interviewed someone and he took me in. He was the landlord of a trailer park and someone had been murdered. And so he took me into the trailer where the person had been, a tenant had been murdered. And then he was the accused murderer. And there was it's just so eerie when that type of thing happens. And I was at TMJ4 News. That was one of my last few weeks there. And I remember that he was partially naked. And yeah, you run into all of that. It's very bizarre. And I'm really glad that she was safe. Wow. When does Reporter's Notebook air?
Sunday at 10 a.m. Or if you want an early preview of our conversation, you can listen right now. The full episode's available wherever you get your podcasts, or more specifically, WTMJ.com.
Awesome. Adam Roberts. Wow. Getting the scoop. That was crazy. Also, when she was interviewing him, he had like little stickers, like bumper stickers, and he had a peace sign behind him. A peace sticker.
Yeah, I
and now
remember
he's a convicted murderer. Wow. All right, Adam, thank you so much. Time for news about your money and your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. We have a mixed bag. It wasn't that bad. The Dow was up about 1% on the day, ending at 52,900. NASDAQ was down 207, ending the day at 25,832, and S&P 500 ending flat on the day at 7,483. The markets are closed tomorrow for the 4th of July holiday. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference.
Bo here from Ridgetop Exteriors. Southern Wisconsin got hit hard with hail recently. If your home took a beating, now's the time to take action. We've been delivering top quality roofing, siding, and window services locally for over 23 years. With free damage assessments and insurance experts on staff, we've been your licensed, local, and trusted contractor since day one. Don't wait until small damage becomes a big problem. Turn to Ridgetop Exteriors today. RidgetopExteriors.com. That's RidgetopExteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Appliance Gallery right here in Milwaukee, just off of Wisconsin Avenue. They have the most up-to-date showroom in the state, featuring the highest-end appliances from luxury brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, Fisher & Paykel, and more. Go in and see it for yourself. This is a locally owned, family-owned company. Look, see, and feel the quality of these luxury products that will last. When you walk through Appliance Gallery, you can try out all different areas, like Wolf, for example. You can try all the different knobs, all the different customizations. You can walk in and explore. Buy directly from Appliance Gallery, or they can work seamlessly with your builder, remodeler, or designer. They offer installation for panel-ready built-ins or freestanding appliances. Panel-ready is a beautiful way for your refrigerator or dishwasher to integrate into your cabinetry. Look the same. Appliance Gallery has their own in-house installation crew and offer reliable service. Find out for yourself. Check out their showroom or visit ApplianceGalleryWI.com. That's ApplianceGalleryWI.com, or stop in to their showroom on Wisconsin Avenue today.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature sponsored by the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. When summer injuries or illnesses occur, deciding where to go for same-day medical care can be stressful and confusing. To help us understand the many different same-day care options is Dr. Emily Valkenburg. Dr. Valkenburg, thank you so much for being here today. So often, a hospital emergency room comes to mind. It ends up being the first place for same-day care. Is that always the right choice?
It can be the right choice when a person is at risk for permanent disability or death, like if you're having a heart attack, stroke, bleeding excessively, experiencing overdose, poisoning. If any of those things happen, you should always call 911 and seek emergent care.
So if the health issue doesn't rise to the level of an emergency visit, what steps should someone take to get the care needed at the right place and time?
That's a good discussion to have with your primary care doctor who knows you when you're feeling well, so that you're informed and have a plan when something does come up. A good first step is to always give your primary care clinic a call. Freighter has a wonderful team of providers and nurses available, can help you figure out next steps.
You've mentioned virtual care options, which sound very convenient. Can you tell me about virtual visits?
Virtual visits, or telemedicine is another name for them, they're a very convenient option, and we know that they benefit health. Freighter and CW make it really easy to schedule and connect with a provider virtually through your device. You can use a smartphone, iPad, or computer. I often meet with patients for follow-up virtually, so it allows me to see a patient in their home and to connect with family members too. But they're really great for same-day care.
So if someone is interested in scheduling a virtual visit, how can they go about doing it?
You can call your primary care doctor's office, or you can use the Freighter MCW app.
Dr. Valkenburg, thank you so much for being with us today. To find the care that's right for you, visit freightert.com.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this half hour. Talks between the U.S. and Iran have paused momentarily, and we're keeping an eye on the weather.
I'm Telly Hughes. A man threatens to kill the governor over the phone.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Eastbound 94 slowing down from just past 76th Street all the way to 35th. Westbound, you got delays west of Highway 100 stretching all the way to Calhoun, and then back on the brakes from Brookfield Road all the way to Springdale. Southbound 43, watch for delays from just before North Avenue down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
All right, we have a severe thunderstorm watch happening right now for all of southeast Wisconsin. Please be weather aware, and also an extreme heat warning continues for all of southeast Wisconsin, except Sheboygan and Fond du Lac counties until 10 o'clock tonight. Some strong winds here, a low of 73. Tomorrow, for your 3rd of July, storms in the afternoon and evening, a high of 88 degrees. Right now, it's 84 degrees in Milwaukee and sunny. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, talks between the U.S. and Iran will be put on hold, not because of disagreements, because of a funeral. News Nation's Robert Sherman.
We are anticipating that no talks will be planned for the next few days as Iran prepares to hold funeral services for their former supreme leader. Those begin this weekend, with the Qataris saying that the plan and hope is to get new negotiations on the calendar shortly after those funeral processions wrap up next week.
Iran's supreme leader was killed by U.S. and Israeli strikes in their first attack of the war.
Months after the FBI raided Georgia's Fulton County election office and seized hundreds of boxes of 2020 ballots, the agency is surging resources into the state. ABC's Olivia Rubin.
Priority investigation. That is how the FBI is describing its ongoing investigation into the 2020 election in Georgia, according to a source and an internal FBI memo I reviewed. According to that memo, the FBI is surging 260 FBI personnel, including intelligence analysts from around the country, to help with this effort. That means field offices are being instructed to dedicate a certain number of personnel each based on their size, according to that memo. And the FBI is asking the personnel to conduct hundreds of record checks, and they're asking them to do it quickly by later this month, noting overtime has been authorized. President Trump claims the election was stolen, but has not provided any evidence. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
A man from Fond du Lac is just charged with threatening to kill Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers in a series of voicemails.
Bradley Hartman is accused of leaving 2 voicemails laden with profanities and homophobic slurs and multiple threats to kill a, quote, high-ranking Wisconsin executive official and their family. While Evers isn't named as the victim in the complaint, court documents indicate Hartman is prohibited from having any contact with the governor as a condition of his $15,000 cash bond. Hartman posted that bond early Thursday morning and is due back in court July 23rd. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers lost 7-2 against the Reds this afternoon, but took 3 out of 4 in the series. They're on the road against the Diamondbacks tomorrow night at 8:45 in Arizona. A big win for the U.S. in the knockout round of the World Cup.
Tillman!
That's how it sounded on Fox as Malik Tillman scored on a penalty kick, giving the U.S. a 2-0 win over Bosnia. They'll now face Belgium on Monday night in Seattle in the round of 16.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:36.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation, and it definitely shouldn't feel like a game. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin believes in straightforward pricing, honest conversations, and helping homeowners find the right fit for their home. Because a fair final price matters more than some flashy discount. Pella never inflates pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. And when you buy direct through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, one trusted team handles everything from start to finish. The same company that manufactures your windows and doors is also the one selling, installing, and servicing them with Pella certified installers every step of the way. That means confidence in the process, confidence in the product, and one team standing behind the work from beginning to end. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
We have WTMJ meteorologist Lindsay Slater with us. Lindsay, we have that severe thunderstorm watch issued until 10 o'clock tonight. What are the storms looking like to our west?
So right now I'm actually looking at them just getting into Dane County. There's a couple of them now also approaching some areas near Monroe and New Glarus. So a couple of these did have some tornado warnings, but they are now just severe thunderstorm warnings going into our area. So we're still super hot and humid. I would say they are kind of moving east, northeast. They'll probably get to like Hartford, West Bend by about 7. If you're in like Beaver Dam or like Watertown, probably about 6:15, 6:30. If anyone's going to Summerfest, though, these storms kind of arrive by like 8 or 9 o'clock. They will likely lose some intensity by then, but these storms do have a good capability of producing some pretty nasty winds. One of the storms actually produced like a 75-mile-an-hour gust out of Platteville earlier. I'm not saying they're going to be like that when they get here, but they definitely have some punch potential.
Lindsay, when the atmosphere is this hot, does it make these pop-up storms so unpredictable and how they can just come out of nowhere?
Well, we expected these guys. And when it comes to like what you're talking about, like popcorn storms, that's exactly what it means. And you're exactly right. They pop up and there's really no rhyme or reason as to when. Today, we have this boundary, and we had those storms in the morning, so we knew exactly where the boundary was. We were just waiting for them to fire up along that boundary, and that typically happens when we get daytime heating. And lo and behold, in Minnesota and in Iowa, they started popping up at like 2 o'clock this afternoon. So then we knew, okay, they're there, and we're just going to watch them start to roll their way towards us. So when it comes to when people are asking me about the 4th, that's the part that's really hard to time out because they're conditional on what happens tomorrow. And that's conditional on what happens today. So you are right. Timing it out is an absolute nightmare.
Wow. The Ring of Fire. That I heard the Heat Dome. And I thought that
Heat
was
Dome.
weird. And then the Ring of Fire, which Brian Isnansky, he kind of likes. So is this the Ring of Fire?
Well, we're still in that heat dome, but here's the thing. The dome is breaking down. So what happens is, I really wish I had like some hand puppets or something I could show you guys.
I know. Give us theater than mine. I see the puppet. Wow. Look at that puppet.
Yeah. But what's kind of going on is that when you have a heat dome, we were always on the northern cusp of that heat dome. And what happens is storms don't like the heat dome. They go up and around the heat dome because we're talking a big old ridge of high pressure. Storms don't like that. They like low pressure systems. They like the jet stream. And what happens is they go up and around the heat dome and then they just keep riding the ridge, as we call it. I call them ridge riders. Niz calls them the Ring of Fire. And so these ridge riders, what happens is as the ridge starts to break down, the heat dome is breaking down. Well, what happens? Well, now that boundary is getting closer to where we are. And that's exactly why we are seeing storms now, because we are getting out of that dome. The dome essentially is collapsing. And now we opened ourselves up to storm chances. And now we are hot and we're super humid, and storms like that a whole lot better than like cooler, drier air.
All right, Lindsay, just time it out for the rest of the couple days, especially since we have July 3rd and 4th tomorrow and the next day.
I know. All right, so tonight, I already mentioned that, I think if you're in Washington County, Jefferson County, your heads up, you got about an hour and a half, 2 hours before they gets to you. So if you're like doing any kind of barbecuing or you're traveling, you got a heads up there. Milwaukee, I would say it's closer to 8-ish. And yes, they have the potential of being severe hail and damaging winds. Based on how fast these move out, I think we will get another a couple little spotty stuff tomorrow morning. A lot of the day is dry, and then by like mid-afternoon, I think we get another batch that rolls in. Then it's also conditional. If depending on the time that batch rolls in, I got to track and see when it leaves so I can tell you when the next one rolls in. So that's the whole conditional part, is I have to wait to see what happens Friday to accurately forecast Saturday. What I can see is that, yes, there will be storms on Saturday. Timing it out is a nightmare, so just have a plan B. I don't think it's a washout. I do think that there will be some dry time for the barbecues and parades, but it's going to be a little touch and go there. You're going to have to really stay tuned to whoever's forecasting that day. I'll be posting on my social media pages and whatnot, but yeah, we'll have to really pay attention.
All right, we have TMJ4's meteorologist Lindsay Slater. You'll be on throughout tonight.
You got it.
We'll be watching Channel 4. Thank you so much, Lindsay.
You bet.
5:43 on WTMJ. I wanted to show a photo. Are you right? Are you ready? He's ready. Nate, are you ready? He's nodding. Okay. Do you see what that is, Telly? I just wanted to share this with, you can text WATCH if you want to 855-616-1620. Do you see what that is?
Looks like a picture of...
I was packing my bags Go ahead. What is it?
No, I'll let you.
Okay. It's I've been throwing out everything as I've been moving. You should see the amount of bags I've thrown out or given away to Goodwill. But I came across my royal tea. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. This was their tea when they got engaged. Yes.
Oh,
my
wow.
sister-in-law gifted me that. I had all the tea, Earl Grey. And I kept it. Isn't that fun? And now they're no longer in the Royals.
I was going to say, you can't even take that picture on your trip to get it signed or anything.
I kept it. Oh, no. You didn't hear? There's rumors that they're going back to the UK.
No, I did not hear
Oh,
that.
yeah. Oh, yeah. They want to come
You
back.
think they'll be back by the time you get there?
Possibly.
Okay. You're
Possibly.
hoping.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex. And that's what makes the Royals so fun to watch. It's kind of like behind the scenes when you're watching sports and everything. How are people getting along? What's going on? So that's why I've been so interested in the Royals for such a long time. And guess what? August of next year, I'm doing the Royal Tour.
That's right.
We're going to be going to London for 3 nights, and I hope that our fans come with. So if you text Royal to 855-616-1620, Rose Gray is going to be our Fox host.
Oh, gosh. That's going to be a great trip then.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She picked all of the best things. We're going to Harrods. We're going to see the royal jewels, the crown. There's a Princess Diana area.
Nice.
Did your mom love Princess Diana?
She did.
I know.
She did.
Every woman.
Yeah. She
loved her.
really did like her.
My mom had at the same time as Prince William, my brother, and they both named their sons William. So it was just a fun little parallel of watching her life. And
nice.
Yeah, it's just really fun. So I hope that you can text Royal to 855-616-1620. And it'll take you right to the Fox page, or you can call 866-GO-FOX-GO, 866-GO-FOX-GO. Check it out. We're also seeing Stonehenge as well. 546 on WTMJ. Debbie helps get you home next.
You know that frustrating injury that just will not heal? Vince Vitrano for MD Hyperbaric. Your back, your ankle, your foot, your knee. Recovery after surgery. Doctor said give it time. Let it rest. But it's not getting better. MD Hyperbaric supports your body's natural healing process. I've done it myself. Treatments that reduce inflammation, speed recovery, and get you back to living life. No pills, no injections. Discover the healing power of oxygen under pressure. MDHyperbaric.com.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for St. Charles Youth and Family Services. They are looking for compassionate individuals. If you've ever thought of becoming a foster parent, St. Charles Family Youth Services has their treatment foster care program. You'll receive training, guidance before, after, and ongoing support every step of the way. I spoke to Destiny Ali. She's a foster parent with St. Charles. She describes how rewarding it truly is.
Initially, it is kind of timid. Even I've been doing it for 18 plus years, and I still be like, oh boy, who am I going to get? Because on paper, they do look intimidating. But once you get them in your house and tell them your rules, they just looking for love.
You can learn more about St. Charles Youth and Family Services and becoming a foster parent today at stcharlesinc.org. That's stcharlesinc.org. stcharlesinc.org.
100 years ago, Bayview Shade and Blind opened its doors with a commitment to craftsmanship and care. Today, that same family spirit lives on in every home we serve. I'm Daniel Pahalski, one of the third-generation owners of Bayview Shade and Blind. We want to say thank you to the families and businesses who've supported us for 100 years.
Sharing a little sunshine for 100 years. Bayview Shade and Blind.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings. Using the highest quality American-made materials, their awnings are the leading shade and wind resistance solutions for your outdoor space. Now, Comfort Awnings installed a motorized awning over my patio a couple years ago, and I don't know how I ever lived without it. It's so comfortable. And with summer here, don't wait to get your awning installed. Enjoy our beautiful Wisconsin summer no matter the weather. Extend the motorized awning when that sun gets too hot or when it rains. Right now, get $250 off your awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com today.
When I shop, no matter what I'm shopping for, I shop for value. WTMJ's John Mercure here, and also quality. You get that at Milwaukee's Autos Wine and Spirits, serving Milwaukee since 1945, employee-owned. They've got the best price and selection when it comes to wine, when it comes to spirits, when it comes to beer and seltzer. It's Autos Wine and Spirits. You've driven by the many locations. Stop in and visit one. My store is Menominee Falls, also Elm Grove, Brown Deer, Cedarburg, and Milwaukee. They are the best value. They're Wisconsin strong. It's Otto's.
Traffic is sponsored by Mission 94 Firearms Education Center, centered in safety, anchored in history, designed for discovery. Just Google Mission 94.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. Learn the right way to handle firearms. Just Google Mission 94.
Let's get you into safely with Debbie Lazaga.
We've got delays still on northbound 41 coming up from just before Mayfair Road all the way up to Silver Spring. So watch out for that. We've also got northbound 43 slowing down from Kilbourne all the way past North Avenue. On the northbound side of 4394, backing up out of the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. Back on the brakes from Lincoln all the way to the base of the high-rise bridge. And then on eastbound 894, backing up out of the Hale interchange all the way past Forest Home. Eastbound 94 backed up from 70th Street through to about 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
As America celebrates its 250th birthday, I wanted to bring back something that we had during the WTMJ Golf Classic. We spoke to CBS News Chief Washington Correspondent, and he's the host of The Takeout, Major Garrett. He spoke so eloquently and perfectly and beautifully about America. Here's our interview with him.
From the White House briefing room to the story shaping the country, CBS News Chief Washington Correspondent Major Garrett.
The Iranians keep saying things that it is a very favorable negotiated settlement on their terms. The White House vociferously denies that.
National perspective, straight answers, right here on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Major Garrett is with us. Major, we apologize for the news. We're at our annual golf outing, but we're so glad you are with us. You are on the road as well. Major, let me start with this. The experiment. That's how America's fight for independence has been referred. It survived 2.5 centuries. You're a historian kind of guy. When you think about this experiment surviving for so long, what's been the key to our survival?
Our ability to take seriously our founding documents, which is to make a more perfect union, acknowledging from the get-go that we were not perfect at the beginning, that we had things to do and aspirations yet to achieve. And we are, whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, or someone who doesn't care about politics, if you're an American, you're an aspirational person. You live within this country with aspirations for yourself, your family, your community, and the nation writ large. And that set of aspirations differs from person to person, but that we are an aspirational nation and believe in the ability to better ourselves and our common humanity is what keeps us going and is what has let us survive a lot of very, very trying times.
You know, Major, I was just talking to John about how we are celebrating our 100th birthday for 620 WTMJ. 40% of the nation's age we've been around for the state of Wisconsin. And I think about the freedom of the press. And I know that you've talked to international reporters before. I've talked to some journalists that can't believe that we even have access to City Hall in Milwaukee. I mean, how important is that for the nation for the next 250 years?
It's essential. And let me tell you a couple of things from the Declaration of Independence that underscore that for me. Lots of people have very famous lines from the Declaration of Independence. All the ones that are most known that we repeat in civics class all through middle school and high school, they're all great. They're all lovely. But my favorite of the Declaration of Independence is one sentence. To prove this, meaning why we are separating from Britain, let facts be submitted to a candid world. That sentence is my entire career. Everything I've ever tried to accomplish, submitting facts to a candid world. And that's what journalists and a free press do. Submit facts to a candid world. That is the essence of what Thomas Jefferson was talking about in the Declaration of Independence, to explain why this tectonic event in human history was about to occur, why the colonies of America were going to separate from Great Britain, because it wasn't something without enormous risk. Everyone who signed that Declaration of Independence knew if they lost the war, lost the battle with the preeminent empire on the globe at that time, Great Britain, they would be killed as treasonous rebels against the empire. And yet they did it anyway. And they explained why, because they believed, as the Declaration also says, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Meaning, if you are going to do something big, you better have an explanation as to why.
Major Garrett is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. So, Major, July 2nd, 1776, Thomas Jefferson says the document's done. 2 days later is when it's signed, it's ratified, it kind of has life breathed into it. Can you give us more perspective on the point you were just making? Because I'm so intrigued. It was England, France, and Spain that ruled the world, with England maybe the most powerful military in the world, and we had a ragtag bunch of guys with muskets who decided, you know what, we're going to put it all on the line. How big of underdogs were the United States?
As big as could be contemplated in any part of the literate world of that era. The biggest underdogs ever. Because not only were we poorly armed, we had no training whatsoever, and the British Army was well-trained and well-equipped and well-armed. We had no leadership that was coherent in terms of military strategy. The only thing we had was a sense of ingenuity, a sense of adaptation, and very importantly, knowledge of the terrain. Knowledge of the terrain. We knew where we were going and where it was much better than the British did. And over time, we also obtained something, support from France. Reluctant at first, then more formidable as time went on. And that support, financial and otherwise, was vital. We don't win the battle against Britain without France first surreptitiously and then publicly backing the revolution.
Major, 250 years after that document, the world we live in is scary in some ways, but not so much different than other trials that we've been through. As we sit here today, are you more optimistic or more worried about the future of our country?
You know, I'm going to fall back on something that's going to sound like a cliche, but I'm realistic. As I believe the founders were realistic, as I believe those who made up the infantry of the Revolutionary war-fighting army that George Washington was able to put together. We had very brilliant people at the top writing the documents and creating the aspirational language. But we had people who had jobs, who were recently out of prison, who were basically down on their luck. And they were the core of the revolutionary infantry, people who basically were on their last legs, had nowhere else to go, but believed that this country was worth fighting for. And if they won, they would be able to forge for themselves something they'd never been able to achieve, an actual future for themselves. So we came together as a country back then, a lot of ragtag people who did not get along, colony to colony, intellect to intellect, but we had one common goal. And I think if we remember that as Americans, despite all of our differences, regional, ethnic, religious, and otherwise, you focus on the big goal, much great things can be achieved.
Man, I'm fired up.
Can I get a mic drop?
Let's go. Giddy up. Man, that's great stuff. Major Garrett is CBS's chief Washington's correspondent. Check out The Takeout wherever you stream your stuff. I was just looking at it today, actually, right on my phone. Major, we always appreciate it. Man, that was so good.
I know.
Major, thank you.
So that is that. I hope that you have a wonderful and safe 4th of July. God bless America. It's 5:58 on WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Hey, WTMJ.